Hey everybody. So this particular coaching series is all about your dream job. And for some of you that have heard me talk about really what I want to do with coaching, my niche is really around career coaching. I love all aspects, life coaching, nutrition, all the different types, but I really have a focus on career coaching. So today's video is really exciting for me because it's talking about your dream job. Do you have a dream job? I hope you do. I hope you have a dream job. And you're not just kind of going with the flow where you are, because there's likely some factor of misery in that. So let's talk about it. Why is a dream job important? And I'll tell you, for a lot of years, a long time, I did not know. And there's two kind of topics I really want to talk about in relation to your dream job. And one of those areas is the not knowing. If you've worked in corporate America or any type of, arena, doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be corporate America. And you felt like everybody else around you kind of had it figured out. It may not have been their dream job, but they either knew what they want to do next in their career, or they just somehow like really had a passion about something that they were doing, and you're like, I don't know. And that was me. I did a lot of things where I could tell you, I'm interested in this. Okay, this is interesting to me, but I didn't even know what a dream job would look like for me. And so if you're in that place of the not knowing, you are completely normal. You're okay. So the other side of the not knowing that I really wanted to talk about was really just the fear. So maybe I do know what my dream job is, but it's so far from what I'm doing now. How could I possibly get to that point? Sometimes the fear of it is, well, yeah, it's my dream, which means it's so personal to me. What if I never do it? What if I never make it happen? And even if you're in the process of getting from wherever you're at to your dream job, there's a bunch of stuff that can come up, and fear is a large one. So those are some of the things I think very high level that I dealt with when talking about my dream job. But for those of you that may not be familiar with kind of my most recent story of what I shared, is my ultimate goal is to work for myself. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to own my own coaching practice and really help professional women, or just women in general, who have been stuck in a role or in a career that is not serving them. And they really are just frustrated with where they are. They want to make a change. And ultimately, they want to find their dream job so they could just simply enjoy life. When I talked about authenticity, it was, wearing a mask, right? So if you guys remember that video, I was like, oh, I was wearing masks all the time. Well, really, if I take all my masks off, then I can just be me in any area of my life. And people wear a lot of masks at work because they feel like I have to keep this job and I have to, all these have tos and fear. And don't get me wrong, it is real. And so because that's where I was, I know what it's like. And I love listening to people when they maybe talk about what they do now. And I'll ask them, well, what would you rather be doing? And their whole demeanor changes. Their energy really lights up when they talk about what they're passionate about. And some of us just don't feel like we can turn our passion into something full time. And so I'm not an expert on the topic. I'm actually walking through it myself, but it is completely possible to shift and say, what is that dream job? And what would my life look like if I was doing that instead of what I'm doing right now? So some of the questions that I wanted to go through, I'm just taking a look at my notes. So just simply, what is your dream job? If you would dare to even think about it and write it out, if it's something that has just paralyzed you or scared you, I would challenge you, start writing it out. What does that look like? With no judgment, it's just your own notebook and saying, what would my dream job be? Think about that. The second step to that would be, what is your plan to get there? So maybe you're just at step one. You're like, oh, what is the dream job? But if you have something in mind, what is your plan to get there? And then the third question is really build it up as far as value for you. What makes it your dream job? So as I mentioned in a previous video, I really want to build an audience and stay more connected to you guys. Other than just this broad audience that I have on YouTube, I think it's great. But building connection is really where I'd like to go with the folks that are really watching the coaching series. So if you were looking and thinking through this video and thinking to yourself, I'm more on the I don't know side. And you could be, you know, somewhere in between. Or if you're just like, I really want to figure this dream job out because, man, I'm just not doing what I love. I would really love to build more connection with you because that's really where my audience is. I would love to provide more content and just hear about the challenges that you're going through and what might be really interesting topics to talk about or offerings you might be interested in. So one of the things I'd really love to give you is what I call my 4 tips to jumpstart your dream job. And that is something that could really just, again, get you start thinking in that direction because your dream job is absolutely possible. So I'd love for you to be connected with me through my email group. And what I'd love to do is if you want to join that email group, just click on the link and it'll give you some information to join. And I will be sharing directly with you those 4 tips to jumpstart your dream job. And it's something that you can actually do today. It's not super hard, it's not super difficult, but they are some awesome tips. And they're actually 4 things that I did myself in order to take myself through that journey to really think about what is that ultimate goal that I want. So again, join me on my email group. I'm preparing to provide a lot more additional content to that audience, as well as keep posting on YouTube. So I hope you'll join me and get those 4 tips. I'll talk to you soon.